If you go down to the woods today, well, the forest, you'll find a ukulele. Let's have a look. Hello and welcome back to GotAUkulele. As ever, summary video review for the full written review, which you'll always find linked below this video. Whole bunch of thank yous running across the bottom of the screen there. There are also some links below this video as to how you can too help out to keep this site going, because I don't get paid by brands or stores to do this, totally independent. So my eternal thanks goes to the people who contribute to make this possible. And you can also help me out by subscribing to the channel. Ring the bell as well, you know what to do, that's the thing. Okay, as I said recently, I've got quite a bit of a run of rather special instruments coming your way on the ukulele reviews, and it's always a joy to look at luthier built instruments. This is from a luthier that I've known about for quite some time, and I've spoken to several people whose opinions I really respect, who tell me that they are just absolutely wonderful, but I've never had one in my hands until now. That luthier is called Phil Davidson from the Forest of Dean in the UK. And this is an example of his, a spruce and maple tenor. As with all luthier reviews, he doesn't build a production line of these. He's hand making these in a workshop. And this is just an example of his work rather than it being, rather than this being a line, if you see what I mean. So this is just an example of what he does. You can specify and work with him to get something built. It's a all solid wood instrument, obviously, handmade by Phil. The top, a lot of people thought it was cedar in the sneak peeks I put out, but it isn't. It's a stained Sitka spruce in this lovely orange glow of a stain. It's dead straight grained. It's got one or two little tiny hints of bear claw in the wood, and I like that because spruce can sometimes look very bright yellow, and it can also look very plain. This isn't plain. This is sort of unctuous, and the pairing with this stuff, whoa. Solid, flamed, tiger striped maple. Really nice smooth wood. Look how beautiful. Look how beautiful all this grain is. Really nice looking instrument. Otherwise, double bout, standard tenor shaped instrument. The bridge is made of ebony. Really nice to see a slot bridge on a tenor. Really nice and small. I love that carving. Lovely shape. Very diminutive. Tiny little thing on the instrument. Fitted with a straight topped bone saddle. Decoration is sympathetic as well. We've got dark wooden edge binding and a tail stripe around the top and back. Around the top is some hand inlaid herringbone stuff, purfling. That blends really well. And the abalone around the sound hole is not too gaudy either. I think it just works with this colouring really nicely. It's not sort of mother of toilet seat stuff. It just, it blends, as you can see. Finished in a kind of hand-rubbed, hand-applied gloss. I wonder whether it's a nitro gloss or possibly a shellac, because it's not mirror finish, but it's and you can kind of feel some little imperfections in it. It is incredibly thin, as are the tone woods here. The top is so thin, but I look across the top of this and I can see the ridges in the spruce. So that's a really thin, well polished back where it's sunk into the grain. That's really nice. That's why I think it might be nitro, because that's what happens to nitrocellulose topped guitars. With luthier instruments, bear in mind you will see some sort of little finishing, tooling, rubbing marks with it. They're not complaints. It shows you that it's been made by a human being, not a factory. Phil doesn't use CNC machines or that kind of stuff. It's all done by these, or machines that are powered by these, like bandsaws and stuff. So do bear that in mind with any luthier instrument. Inside, very tidy, notch lining, very thin braces, and the signed label in there. It's lovely, absolutely lovely down there. The neck, more maple, more stripe. This is a single piece of wood with a little cap on the heel. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Maple is great for necks because it's glassy smooth. And whilst it is finished in that hand-rubbed gloss, because it isn't like mirror finish, it's no way sticky. Really nice luthier shallow profile up here, 36mm nut, 28 G2A. Really comfortable, very little front to back here. Dead nice. Topped with ebony for the fingerboard, which is in good condition, but again, you'll see some tooling marks and little rub marks in it. Don't mind that. I love how it tapers down here to this end. Very nice, isn't it? It's edge bound with more dark wood with a black purfling strip all the way around it. Obviously no sharp fret ends. Unusual for a tenor, very traditional, old style. 12 to the body, 15 in total, so it's kind of a shortened scale. Well, the scale's the same, but you get what I mean. It's joined at the 12th, not the 14th. Position dots face out in pearl at 3, 5, 7, 10, double 12th, one at the 15th, and you get side dots in white as well. The nut is made of bone, setup's really good, obviously. Crown-shaped headstock, really like this too, faced in ebony. Yeah, really nice, faced in ebony and edge bound as well. The Phil Davidson, I don't know, that's his logo, but that's a mother of pearl inlay inside it. Yeah, very nice. My first gripe, these tuners. Now, these are Graphtec Ukulele ratio things with planetary gears inside them. I've said before I don't like the look of them. I think they're really ugly. I have a bigger issue. When these first came out a few years ago, I had a post snap on one, and then I started seeing lots of people were reporting that those were snapping. That was years ago, 2019, something like that. And I was told, oh, it's just a bad batch. It's still happening though, because I'm still seeing reports of gears inside going, tuner post snapping. I've seen reports of it happening with some of the new Martin instruments. So it's not a batch thing, there's a problem with them. I would never specify them for that reason, and I would never recommend them any longer for that reason. So I'm really unsure as to why Phil put them on. Thankfully, all of his instruments come with a lifetime warranty, so if something did go wrong, he's going to make good for you. But I wouldn't specify an instrument with those on, so that's a big no-no for me. This has come strung with ukulele strings with a low G. Again, not my thing, but that's something that's easily changed, and I don't affect scores because of that. And the price, I must say the price gave me a little bit of a double take, because it's £2,500. I think that's... I've got to be very careful what I say here. I mean, I got blamed for apparently inflating the price of Ken Timms, because I'm a big believer that luthiers and craftsmen should get paid. And if I consider how many hours have gone into this, I can see he's not getting paid a massive hourly rate. You probably pay your plumber more. But I've also got to have in mind the market. And this is really right up at the top table. I think it's probably one of the most expensive things I've reviewed on the site. But that's not to detract from the craftsmanship. I can see where the hours have gone. Putting it another way, all Phil Davidson sell. He's got his fans, people buy them, so what do I know? You know, it's worth what it's worth to the person who's buying it, £2,500. I've said, you know, that top is very thin and that finish is very thin, and that's really the thing here. It's really light. Tenor, 625 grams. Nice and balanced. It's one of the most resonant instruments I think I've ever picked up. Let's yeah, let's have a play. I have been playing this quite a bit. One thing about these ratio tuners is that they're very, very accurate. I'll give them that, as long as they don't snap. Volume. Oh my God, that's a sustain. Listen. Wow, that's just going on. Oh, the whole thing, I can feel it here, I can feel it in my chest, I can feel it in my arm. Ooh. Again, a bit like the other high-end instruments, I can't do this justice with my playing technique. And I don't think it's a strummer's instrument. character. I thought when I first saw it, spruce maple going to be very, very bright. That's probably why there's a low G on it. But actually it's not overly bright. Even the treble strings, if I take that low G out of it, it's not too bright. It's kind of really well balanced. But finger picking, absolutely out of this world on sound and tone. What a beautiful sounding instrument. The sustain is insane. The balance of the tones is really good. It's right across the range. You'd think it was a more exotic wood like a koa or something. It's just really coming together, and that's down to the quality of the build. It's excellently put together, really, really nice and very pretty instrument. The price, a lot of people will be watching this review saying, I can't pay that. And some people may be saying it's too much money, but just bear in mind what I say. What you're saying is someone's craftsmanship should be worth less. It's very strange, really. I mean, think about how much you pay a garage to fix your car, what the hourly rate is. Translate that into man hours. How many hours do you think this took to make? Bearing in mind all these inlays are done by hand. Yeah, I understand where the money is. It's too rich for my wallet, but it is a wonderful thing. Bar the tuners, just don't get why you put those on, but again, easily swapped, I guess. Phil Davidson, UK luthier, Forest of Dean in the UK. Thank you very much to Phil for, I think, who agreed to this one, but mainly to Matt Stead at the Uke Room, also in the Forest of Dean, who carries these and this one, who has very kindly loaned me this and let me have a look at it. Thank you, Matt. Obviously very highly recommended. It's a luthier, wonderful instrument. You've heard the tone, absolutely wonderful. Okay, right, thank you very much for watching and your ongoing support. The high-end stuff continues. I've got another one downstairs that's coming next weekend, I hope. That is also just a stellar instrument by the look of it. Don't want to prejudge my reviews, but if you knew what it was, you'd understand why I'm saying that. And then we'll go back into some of the more normal stuff and get back into the real world. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your week ahead. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.